So in between all of this madness going on, the Afghanistan story that came out, the impeachment hearings are going on. You have the Inspector General came out today with a report basically blasting the FBI, saying that their original FISA warrant for Carter Page was severely flawed. Said it wasn't politically biased, but basically said it depended on the now disgraced Steele dossier that the Hillary Clinton's campaign was trying to enlist the Steele dossier against Trump. During all this, Pete Buttigieg, good strategy if you're a slimy politician, wanted to get his news out so nobody would know and nobody would pay, and there wouldn't be a lot of attention on it, and it would kind of get lost in all this other news. So he came out saying, I will allow press in my high-dollar, lavish caviar and champagne fundraisers. So he's now going to let the press in. I am the press. They still haven't told us where the 3 bougie mega fundraisers he's having in Manhattan are this week. He's having big fundraisers in Manhattan this week, starting tomorrow, another one Wednesday, I believe another one Thursday. No idea where it is. Now, I'm not suggesting people go and do anything violent at a private residence, of course not. But if he wants to go have, $2,800 ticket fundraisers with nice little, tapas meals, champagne and caviar, with a who's who of Wall Street bankers, big pharma, big real estate, big oil, Silicon Valley, I think people have a right to protest outside, and they should be able to know where it is. But we don't know. So Pete came out today saying he will let press in. We'll see about that. We'll see which press he allows in. He also, about an hour later, McKinsey, the vulture capitalist company that he consulted for, came out saying that they will release him, according to them. They will release him from his non-disclosure agreement as far as allowing him to share who his clients were, who he consulted for. I don't know if they are allowing him to share details of his consulting, what he did, what he consulted them on. I don't know if they're allowing that, because, you don't want to give away the goods. You don't want to really show how sleazy this whole thing is, how McKinsey consults brutal dictators around the world, how McKinsey consults toxic polluters around the country and world. They don't want the full details out, so they're just going to let him list the companies that he consulted for, which he could spin any which way he wants. He could spin any which way he wants what he did for those consultants. I mean, those companies. So, as far as transparency, let's say we got like 40 to 50% transparency from the good mayor today. Press are going to be allowed in. I'm assuming now the press are going to be allowed in, he's probably going to possibly change the way he talks at these fundraisers. Who the heck knows what he's been saying up until now? I have no idea what he's been saying at these fundraisers. I assume he's not going to be stupid enough to basically be bending over and asking for favors. I don't mean in a gross way. I mean, as all politicians do. If the press are there, I assume he's going to talk about this new generation we need. What he will privately discuss one-on-one with these lavish hedge fund people and Wall Street traders and big pharma executives, who knows what he's going to discuss privately. But Sludge came out with a really good piece. Hopefully you guys check it out at sludge.com. And Pete Buttigieg has not released who's raising money for him, and Sludge got the name. Who are the lobbyists and corporate execs collecting checks for Pete Buttigieg? Mayor Pete's presidential campaign stopped disclosing the names of its campaign donation bundlers in November, as the Indiana mayor faced increased scrutiny after surging in some early swing state polls. The campaign is also continuing to block press from his fundraising events. This was written before the announcement that he would let press in. A review of Buttigieg's known bundlers show why his campaign is reluctant to disclose the names going forward. Some are registered lobbyists, while others are shadow federal lobbyists with executive titles like government relations at heavy lobbying firms. The 3 high-profile attorneys representing controversial clients bundled checks for Buttigieg, but had their individual donations returned after their support was revealed. Oh, so they're allowed to raise millions of dollars for Buttigieg, but we can't take their money directly. What a transparent, ethical guy. The Buttigieg campaign initially committed in April to releasing the names of its bundlers, joining only then-candidate Kamala Harris in pledging to do so. But as of October, it had not updated its bundler list. Buttigieg rivals Warren and Sanders said they do not have big money bundlers to disclose, according to Open Secrets. Former Vice President Biden's campaign did not respond, shockingly, about disclosing its bundlers. Biden's campaign recently reversed itself to allow a super PAC, led by lobbyists and executives, to raise and spend unlimited sums of money. So let's take a look. Here are some of the bundlers and fundraiser hosts behind Buttigieg's big dollars. Steve Elmendorf, a Democratic Party veteran. Elmendorf is a federal lobbyist who went through the revolving door in 2005 after working as chief of staff to former House Minority Leader Dick Gephardt. Elmendorf's name appears on a list of bundlers released by the campaign in April. His name was removed from an online fundraiser invitation after Buttigieg reversed his earlier position and decided to ban contributions from lobbyists. 10 of his Democratic rivals, including Warren and Biden, have pledged not to accept lobbyist contributions. Elmendorf lobbied for multiple members of the Partnership for America's Healthcare Future, a healthcare industry-funded nonprofit. It's really a healthcare front group who meant to defeat Medicare for All and Medicare public option plans. As of the third quarter, Elmendorf was also registered to lobby for the Federation of American Hospitals, oil company BP America, Wall Street giant Goldman Sachs, Verizon, Facebook, and a dozen more. Woo! Boy, talk about a progressive hero. Hamilton James, the executive vice chairman of Blackstone, the world's largest private equity firm, hosted a Buttigieg fundraiser at his home on June 13th, drawing finance industry support. James is a longtime Democratic donor who the New York Times described in 2016 as one of the leading Wall Street contenders for an economic policy post in a future Hillary Clinton administration. In 2017, when James was president of Blackstone, the firm announced $40 billion. A $40 billion U.S. infrastructure fund, with half of the cash coming from the government of Saudi Arabia. Just wonderful. Blackstone and other private equity firms are significant investors in the fossil fuel industry, and while large donations from their executives don't technically violate the no fossil fuel pledge, Buttigieg and other candidates, their firms are active drivers. And by the way, Blackstone has been making money off of the burning of the Amazon forest in Brazil. I don't know. This really does sound like a new generation to me. What about you? It's truly unbelievable. The amount of hoodwinking Pete Buttigieg has been able to do, enabled by a totally pliant corporate media, to prop this guy up. He is literally Joe Biden, 40 years younger, and more articulate, I would say. That's who he is. This is Joe Biden, 35, 40 years younger. This is Hillary Clinton, different body parts. He is a corporate servant. He has no policies to help working people. He, as mayor of South Bend, he's basically been running to get out of South Bend for the last 3 years. First as DNC chair, and now as president. This is why it is so important, this next debate. Because, strangely, and I really don't get it, as far as Bernie, as far as Warren, as far as Tulsi, strangely, really nobody went after him in the last debate. Nobody went after him in the last debate. I don't know why. There was plenty of opportunity to go after him, but people chose not to. So now, with the debate about a week and a half away, It's time for people to drop these political bombs on Pete's head. He is a slimy little Thus far, he's been able to get around attacks. But I don't think he's going to get around all this. He's going to have a very, very hard time explaining how he's anything different than what we've already seen for basically 2 decades. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.